I actually was a nursing major. When I first came to ISU, I got accepted into Mennonite, but I realized that that's just not my calling, and I pursued the marketing field and fell in love with that. But I wanted to be more on the scientific and math side, and a lot on the research side. So I'm really passionate about decision sciences, studying consumers, and studying how people purchase things. So that's kind of how I picked marketing analytics, and the fact that it was such a new major at ISU when I first came on campus. When I was a freshman, I actually had considered market research as a field, and I did research and I saw that IRI was one of the companies. And then for my Marketing 190 course, we had to write a paper about potential career paths that we could pursue. And that's how I stumbled upon the opening. And then I networked with some people in the company. I applied, and a couple weeks later I interviewed, and then I found out a month after that. So it was a lot of research since they don't recruit out of here. The focus of my internship was media, so I worked in the media department. So in market research, and whenever you work in a department, it's focused on who's buying media, who's selling media, and my focus was combining social media data as well as in-store purchasing, as well as different panel data, and digital media data, and then TV data, and combining all that to study how consumers purchase. So, for example, an Asian male 22-year-old going to ISU probably purchases differently than a 35-year-old that doesn't go to college, right? So it was about studying different target audiences and different buyer segments. I sat on the data visualization team, so I sat more client-facing and definitely more deliverable side. I still had to know the coding side of it, and I did more data visualization and graph building. And so we didn't use Tableau, and we used a software called Unify, which is proprietary to IRI, but very similar to Tableau. But being able to tell a story from data is probably one of the most important skills that I've learned. And I challenge everybody that's pursuing a similar career path to really challenge themselves, to learn outside the classroom and how to tell stories with the data sets that they're presented. Well, before the internship, I actually only took Marketing 190 as my first marketing class. In that class, I learned the general umbrella of marketing, the general concept of marketing, right? Not necessarily specific to analytics. But I kind of knew my freshman year this was the route that I was going to go. And so I took it upon myself to self-teach a lot of coding languages. So I self-taught R and SQL more specifically. And I did some personal side projects as well. And that really helped my storytelling skill come to fruition. And I think that's kind of how I was able to get this internship. My hope after graduation is to gain some experience in market research. I'll be graduating in 2020, so I have a while, but this summer I just accepted at Nielsen, which is another market research firm, and hopefully land a full-time offer there post-grad. And I think I want to work in market research for a few years. I'm going to make a lateral movement to a tech-heavy company, wherever that may be, and study more on the consumer purchasing side of things within the tech industry. Marketing is so broad, but if you focus on analytics, every marketer needs to know analytics because we're moving into such a data-driven world, and you can't just be a marketer anymore unless you understand data, right? And everybody wants to be competitive and everybody wants to land that dream job, and I think analytics is the right step in that direction. Students need to find a way how to figure out a way to differentiate themselves from the competition, and I think having an analytics background will do that, right? And also taking initiative to self-teach yourself, I think, is another really, really important thing to do, because you're not learning hard technical skills until your junior, senior year, and you cannot compete with internships unless you have those technical skills, right? As well as learning some soft skills outside the classroom, interviewing resumes, networking, all these professional skills.